Hey guys, Bart from TST Industries here. In this episode of TST Garage, we will be performing an installation of the TST Industries Flushmount signals on this 2017 and up Suzuki GSX-R1000. Our LED signals will enable you to take off these large pumpkin OEM signals and put these nice small form factor LED lamps in their place. Each one of these lamps features 12 super bright LEDs. They are outfitted with bullet connectors on one side. So for the purpose of a plug-and-play installation, we recommend that you pick these guys up with our optional harness converters that enable you to plug the bullets into the harness converters and terminate in an OEM style plug on the other side for a seamless connection, no wiring, no fuss. All the hardware is included with the kit. You will receive 2 signals and 2 nuts for the purpose of mounting these guys on. And one additional note I want to make is that they are available in a choice of clear or smoked lens. So if you check out our website, tstindustries.com, you could read more about these and make your choice there. So now, without further ado, we'll start stripping some of the body panels off this bike and make the installation. So step 1 of our process will consist of removing an inner body panel from the inside of the radiator scoop that is located right here. This is the panel that we will be removing. It has one slide lock that interfaces with interference geometry on the inside of all the fairings, and then it has 4 push type fasteners that can be removed using a small screwdriver. This is the fasteners that we will be removing. You press on the button center and that resets it. You withdraw it and then it's free. And once all these fasteners are out, we can dislodge this panel from the rest of the fairings. I like to start at the bottom right here. This comes out really easily and lets me work up the line. And voila, comes out. And now we're ready to access the wiring and also the fastener for our signal right here. There is a routing clip for cable management. Just need to unbend it to unclamp the wire. Get that wire out and find this plug. This is a small Mitsubishi plug. It has a tab here. Pull up on it. It releases the male plug. And that's pretty much it for the wire release here. We need to grab a 10mm socket. And I'm going to use that 10mm socket to loosen the nut that holds the signal pod on and then take it out. Now as you take these pieces out, make sure you hold on to the cable management clip. You don't want to lose it in there. It will not be reused in our installation, but definitely want to take it out. There's also a shoulder washer that fits in the hole that this fastener goes through. I'm going to remove that too, otherwise it may end up in your belly pan and then shoot out, crack somebody's windshield when you're driving around. All right, so for the next step, we will focus on the holes from this side of the fairing and we'll perform the installation. Our signals will have to make use of the forward hole. This hole is roughly 230 thousandths of an inch in diameter, and our stud is just over 3/8. So we will need to remount this hole to 25/64. I've taken a 25/64 drill, and I'm just gonna ream this hole out. It's really easy. Doesn't really damage anything. If you ever want to revert to your OEM setup, it will still be possible without wobbling around. You'll be able to tighten it down real tight there will be no issue. So now we'll grab one of our signals and one of these spacers that came with the kit. The spacer does have pockets on the bottom. It's rubbery. That will go on the wires first. This side goes towards the signal. It's mounted on the stud here, and then feed the wires through. Check our fitment, and this is what the system's going to look like when it's bottomed out. If you were to insert the signal in the well without the spacer, you will be making contact with the leading edge of the signal with this lip here, and then when you go to tighten this down, you will likely crack the mounting features, so you don't want to do that. If you want that kind of a flush installation, you will need to make this hole larger so that you could fit this further back and thus clear this lip here. So for our simpler type installation, we will reinstall our spacer and just move forward with that. So we have a nut fastener that came with the kit. Flange goes on first, feed it up the wire and thread it on. Once you bottom this out, you want to give it approximately a quarter turn more. That will preload the rubber of our spacer to exert pressure on the threads and will prevent it from spinning out. You do not want to over tighten this because you will likely crack the threads. So now we have these bullet connectors. I've chosen to use our plug and play optional kit. Connection's really simple, yellow to yellow, black to black. And then making sure that the insulators are covering our contacts. I'm going to plug it in and test it real quick. All right, so we have power. As you can see, this is hyper flashing. It's flashing faster than the OEM rate of 85 cycles per minute. To combat that, you will need to install an LED flasher relay that will restore your flash rate. If this doesn't bother you, it will not harm your electrical system, but it is flashing a little bit faster than OEM, so that is a consideration for you and a choice you have to make. Moving on, we'll unplug this, and I will need to fix these insulators in place because as you can see, they do move around a little bit, and vibration on the road may slip them off and cause a short circuit. So I'm going to use some electrical tape and get them secured. Once that's done, we can plug it back in, give it one more quick test. Good to go. I'm going to route the wires on the inside here. This portion goes up above the top scoop shroud here. And then there is a catch can for the radiator coolant that has a void in between the catch can and the fairing here. So I will route those wires behind there, and that will be kept secure and away from the radiator. Okay, at this point, we can reinstall the inner shroud. This stud goes into its geometry first. I'm going to pry away from the bike on this top shroud to make space. For the inner shroud, make sure that that stud interlocks in there right above the radiator, and then snap it all back in place from top to bottom. And replace our push fasteners. They need to be reset to this state. And then pushed into position. And the center pressed in. And just like that, right side's done. And then we move on to the left side. All right, let's give the system one more test. Left and right side are working. Took me about 10 minutes. Nice and simple, no fuss. Plug and play installation. All the hardware necessary for installations included. We've replaced these big pumpkin lights that came from the factory. These nice small form factor lights that are still very nicely visible, but don't stick out as far and make the bike a lot sleeker. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it informative, and I invite you to tstindustries.com where you'll find these parts and others for this bike. Thanks for watching. See you later.